Hello, viewers of Jonathan George Villaria's What Emporium. I am Jonathan George Villaria, and I'm excited to share with you how we can expand our knowledge of the world order through the English language. I will discover a range of topics such as literature, history, science, and more to provide you with a well-rounded learning experience. Regardless of whether you are a beginner or an experienced learner, our expertly curated videos will offer captivating and enlightening content to help you enhance your language proficiency. Today, I'm delighted to share with you about the Vietnamese theme, Áo lụa Hà Đông, which translates to the white silk dress in English. The white silk dress, the Vietnamese theme, is a magnificent piece of art that illustrates the conflict between Franks and Vietnam before 1954 in the Hà Đông province. The theme follows the story of two servants, Young and Go, who flee to the south after the peasants overthrow the government and kill their landlord to avoid punishment. Their most valuable possession is the Guazhou dress from Hà Đông, which Go gifted to Young as a wedding present. When Go is captured and tortured, the dress becomes his shield, protecting him from the landlord's wrath. Young has two grown daughters, Hỏi An and Ngô. The family earns a livelihood by fishing for clams on the river and selling them. Go purchases a small boat to catch more fish and gather floating firewood. The couple provides the utmost care and attention to Hỏi An and Ngô, sending them to school. However, the risk of the girls dropping out of school looms over their heads because their parents cannot afford to buy them the white silk dress. Young, feeling reluctant, become a wet nurse to earn extra income, but her job is peculiar. She had to provide milk, not for a baby, but for old Mr. Tong, a toothless chestnut man. Every morning, Young goes to her strange nursing job, takes off her dress, and passes the milk container through a small hole in the wooden wall. On the other side, the old man with the wrinkled face, missing most of his teeth, opens his mouth to drink the precious milk meant for the baby. Full of shame and sorrow, Young still had to swallow her tears and sell the valuable milk every day until Go finds out. After learning the truth, Go becomes angry and scolds his wife. Young, feeling guilty, seeks help from a tailor to resize and sew the couple's engagement dress to fit their daughters, creating the dress of their dreams. While bringing the dress home late at night, Young is caught and interrogated because she has a petition against the Republic of Vietnam regime in her basket. Despite this, she is eventually released. The dress that the poor family shares enabled Hỏi An to wear it to school in the morning and Ngô in the afternoon. In Hỏi An's essay about her family white silk dress, she expresses how despite being poor, they love and care for each other. However, one day, when she is reading her essay to the class, a loud explosion shatters all the warm memories and plunges her family into grief. The school is bombed, causing many casualties. The story of the white silk dress is a powerful one that teaches us the value of family and the sacrifices they make for each other. The phrase "to swallow her tears" depicts the immense pain and guilt that Young feels. Go's anger and scolding illustrate how important honesty and transparency are in relationship. The quote, "We don't need more to be happy, just enough to live," exemplifies how contentment and gratitude are essential to happiness. Finally, the bombing of the school demonstrates the cruel realities of war and the devastating effects it has on innocent civilians. This tragic narrative serves as a stark reminder of the profound and far-reaching effects of war on individuals and their families. The brutal conflict not only claimed the life of Anne, but also destroyed their happiness and well-being. The war's harshness and brutality were unrelenting, but did not end with the loss of Anne's life, but continued to inflict untold devastation on the family. In a desperate attempt to earn some money to make an outfit for her second child, Ngô, Young was scouring the shore for claims on a rainy day. The merciless flood waters suddenly swept him away while he was trying to gather some firewood. The heartless natural disasters also took the life of Anne's mother, and the war claimed her father's life once again. Go, in a bid to protect his wife and daughter's Madame Sutres, died in the inferno of the raging conflict during the chaotic evacuation. The story concludes with a picture of a peaceful nation, something that Anne had inquired about to her father. Daddy, is peace beautiful? But she was not destined to witness the peaceful world. Anne's story and her family's fate are an important reminder that wars are indiscriminate and profoundly affect innocent and vulnerable individuals. It's a call to the world that war is never the solution and that we should always strive for peace. As John F. Kennedy once said, mankind must put an end to war before war puts an end to mankind. The world must work towards achieving peace, and it starts with each one of us. Let us all spread kindness and compassion to one another and make this world a peaceful and harmonious place to live. The deeply moving words of Hyan's essay still resonate with me to this day. I can vividly recall her heartfelt confessions in which she spoke with great admiration about the traditional Vietnamese long dress, the áo dài. As she wrote, my mother always taught me that the áo dài is a symbol of infinite endurance and boundless generosity of Vietnamese women. No matter how arduous the circumstances may be, or how much devastation is wrought by war and bombs, the áo dài remains a timeless expression of the beauty and grace of Vietnamese women. She went on to say that the dress is not defined by superficial attributes like fair skin or rosy lips, but rather by the intricate folds and soft threads of the fabric, which reflect the pure and dignified nature of Vietnamese women. It was a deeply moving and poetic reflection on the enduring spirit of Vietnamese women, and I will always cherish the memory of reading Hoyan's essay. Thank you for joining me at this episode. Your questions, comments, and feedback are always welcome and appreciated. So please don't hesitate to leave them in the comment section below. And if you haven't already, please do hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more interesting and enlightening content. By hitting the notification bell, you'll be sure to never miss any of our exciting and thought-provoking episodes. Don't forget to share our channel with your friends and family who may also find our content beneficial. We are committed to providing you with high quality, well researched, and engaging content that will help you improve your English language skills and expand your knowledge. And I look forward to sharing more insightful and inspiring things with you in the near future.